Hello and what's up, political peeps? Per usual, I am your host, Arav Kapoor, and today I am joined by Mr. Raja Jhanjee, the owner at Bukhara Grill, an Indian food restaurant in the New York City area. Mr. Jhanjee, welcome to the Geopolitical.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit about your career. How did you get into the restaurant business, and what restaurants do you have?
Well, it's a long story. I joined Modern Sheraton in India in 1981, and that is supposed to be the finest hotel in Asia.
Okay.
And we had those prestigious restaurants over there. So I had the opportunity to work in Bukhara in Delhi.
Mhm.
Well, in fact, I worked in all different departments like coffee shop, room service, banquets, everything. So they gave us a whole experience of in all different fields of cuisine, Chinese, French, so all kind of foods. But I was in Bukhara for almost 5 years in Delhi.
Mhm.
So Bukhara was into my mind, in my heart, in my soul. This is how it happened.
Yeah.
In 1990, I came to America, and I worked for different people. I was on H1, got a green card. Then finally, my dream was to open a restaurant. This is how we started Bukhara Grill in the year 1999 in Manhattan.
And in Manhattan, this new location, where
Uh,
was it
was
located?
the location in Midtown on
Okay.
49th Street between 2nd and 3rd. It ran very well for 21 years. In that time, I had catered for all the Indian prime ministers, including Mr. Vajpayee, Mr. Manmohan Singh, Mr. Modi, and um, I have been to the White House 3 times to cater Diwali in White House. Unfortunately, in pandemic, we had to close the restaurant.
Mhm.
So then I have restaurants in New Jersey as well. So I was in New Jersey, but my heart and soul was in Midtown Manhattan. So this year we opened our restaurant in 2025, but it took me 8 months to build the restaurant.
Mhm.
So this is where we are now at 120 East 39th Street between Park and Lexington.
So tell me about that process of after your business had sadly closed down after the pandemic, of you slowly building back up your restaurant in Midtown.
Well, I had 3 restaurants in New Jersey.
Yeah.
We are one of the biggest caterers as well. So we used to do a lot of caterings as well, plus the restaurant business. And my 2 sons are involved with me. So it's the family which works together. We all worked hard, and this is how we thought of opening the restaurant back into the city, because Manhattan is the food capital of the world.
Of course, I love your, and I'm going to mention this later on, but I've been to your restaurant. I was there with my family a couple weeks ago. Spectacular food, some of the best Indian food. So, definitely, I recommend going to try out Bukhara Grill if you're ever in Manhattan. But you mentioned you also have New Jersey restaurants. You have the Jalwa location in Montclair,
Yeah,
and
then
then
Bukhara,
you also have Tushin in the.
we have got Bukhara Grill in Ridgewood.
Mhm.
Tashan, we are converting into Bukhara Grill Express. So it should be ready in about a month's time. So we are
Mhm.
doing all the renovations for that.
So how will Bukhara Grill Express be different from the Bukhara Grill locations you have in Ridgewood in
See,
Midtown?
the, they are like fine dining restaurants.
Yes, of
In
course.
Bukhara Grill Express, you order, you pick up your food, and you go. It's like that.
Hmm.
So it's like and the prices are lower
Hmm.
because it's not a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah.
Only a place from where you can order the food, pick up your food, and we will be doing a lot of caterings from that unit also. So that is like a semi commissary for us.
And why and how has your catering business kind of coexisted with your restaurant business over the years?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, restaurant is a show window. People come and eat the food, they like the food, and then they want to have it catered.
Mhm.
But we have catered thousands of weddings in the last 25 years. And the people know us for good food and good service. That is what is important, to
Yeah.
give good quality of food, enough food, and be on time. And the food should be served hot, Hot should be served hot and cold should be served cold. That is what is important. Now, anybody can give the food, but the taste has to be there. And then the food has to be very well decorated, presented, because you first eat with your eyes, then you bring the food, then you smell it, and then you eat it. It's a process.
It's the full ambiance of your restaurant.
Absolutely, yes.
So you mentioned you converted. You had the what was it? India Accent Restaurant in Ridgewood, New Jersey, that became Bukhara Grill, and then you also had the Tushin location, which you're converting to Bukhara Grill Express. Do you have any plans for the Jalwa location that you have in Montclair?
Right now it's the same, but the restaurant in New Jersey was Delhi Accent.
Okay,
We
Delhi
went
Accent.
to Bukhara Grill.
Understood.
Yeah.
And then that what prompted that change, but from Delhi Accent to Bukhara Grill?
See, because the Bukhara in Manhattan was closed.
Yes.
So there was a big vacuum for Bukhara food. And I had the same chefs who used to work for me in Bukhara. So I thought one day, why don't I do the work and make it look like Bukhara and open Bukhara Grill here? Because I had the chefs, I had the knowledge, I have the trademark for the entire US. So this is what prompted me to open Bukhara Grill in Ridgewood.
Okay. Now tell my audience, a lot of people don't understand specifically the kind of food you're serving. So if you had to say in a couple sentences, what kind of food is the food served at Bukhara Grill?
Well, the most important thing Bukhara Grill serves is the real authentic food
Okay.
which you find in India in five-star hotels. And we specialize in kebabs, which we have got a range of at least 15 kebabs like lamb chops, leg of lamb, malai kebabs, achari fish tikka, or tangri kebabs, or lamb seek kebabs, or barra kebab, which I don't think the other restaurants serve it as good as we do because we have the special chefs, the special marination, and the main thing is how you cook the meats. That's the most important thing. Number two, we cook all the meats fresh
Okay.
and that too live. We have got a live kitchen. There are three tandoors. People can see the chefs cooking in front of them. Then we have a curry kitchen where we all the curries are prepared. So we have got separate chefs for that who specialize in curries. All kind of foods from north to south. We have all the kind of foods, all kind of curries, all different sauces. All food will look different, not alike. Like you go to a restaurant, everything seems to be so similar, but
Mhm.
over here everything is different. The texture, the color, the taste, everything is different.
And on the topic of the food and the ambiance of Bukhara Grill in the Northeast United States, how much of the experience of Bukhara Grill here in the US takes from the experience of the Bukhara Grill that you mentioned you worked at in Delhi?
Well, basically, I've given the same decor, the same setup.
Yeah.
In fact, I will say a step ahead. We have some more features than what is in there, but we have try and replicate Bukhara Grill as it is, the way we had on 49th Street also. So it is very similar.
Mhm. And you have at Bukhara Grill, one of the things you're known for is your gigantic naan and your wood board menus, all these special features that belong to your restaurant and set it apart from other restaurants. So on the topic of you setting yourself apart and these show pieces, how have you been able to leverage like social media and other marketing to advertise your launch of your new Manhattan location?
Well, basically, we have got a lot of things like we have aprons. You give
Mhm.
aprons to the guests to wear,
Yeah.
which no restaurant gives. Then we have got, as you mentioned, the wooden plank, the menu on that. Then we have those big gigantic naans.
Mhm.
So it's a specialty of a chef to make a naan like this. Not
Yes.
every chef can do it. So we have given the ambience, which is beautiful. the chefs who know their job, and the staff is trained how to present it well.
And what does Bukhara mean? The word Bukhara.
Bukhara is basically a place in Uzbekistan
Hmm.
which is famous for carpets. It is, see, it's like that. In medieval world times, the people used to kill and they hunt, and they used to hang it over the a pit fire.
Hmm.
So the same concept we have used here. We have the clay ones, we have the Bukhara carpet hanging, the stone walls, the wood on the walls. There are wooden planks around the pillars. So it's a lot of wood, a lot of stone, a lot of metal has been used to depict the medieval times how the people used to do it, but in a very sophisticated way.
But how does this region in Uzbekistan tie into Indian food and Indian cuisine?
Well, basically, it was all barbecue cooking.
Okay.
So here we have all barbecue cooking, and we added the curries to it as well.
So I want to transition from this, talk more about your opening of the new Bukhara Grill location in Manhattan. What struggles did you face when opening this location?
Well, basically, what I got here was four walls. There were no ceiling, no flooring, no walls for the bathrooms at all. I
Mhm.
had to build a new kitchen for the tandoor, and basically everything is you see here, you are there, is brand new. It took us 8 months to build it, and obviously a lot of money was used also. But the problem is this: it takes time for the permits, it takes time for all other things. So slowly and slowly, and it was a big project, and there were different levels of work:
Mhm.
flooring, ceiling, walls, then putting stones on that, then building a, a clay oven kitchen, putting the exhaust. So it's a very tedious work. A
Yeah.
lot of people are involved: the architect, the contractor, electrician, plumber, and so on. So it's a lot of work, and every step has to be done after the other.
Yes. And on the topic of, your new starting up the restaurant, you have to, of course, design your menu, design your prices. And, new Midtown Manhattan isn't known to be the cheapest place in the world. It's everything's pretty expensive. How did you have a balance between, having good food and being able to afford quality food for all your guests and setting it at a certain price while also not charging too much for the food that people won't come to your restaurant? How did you find that balance?
Well, basically, I've been in Manhattan for 25 years.
Yes.
So over the period of time, I have learned all these things as to uh, the the pricing structure. Because what was 15 years back or 10 years back, the food prices have almost doubled. So that is what one thing is very important, which you have to keep in your mind, and then you study 8 10 restaurants, how much they are selling it for. But our restaurant has the top food and good pricing for that. It's not that I'm charging a whole lot. I'm charging a good price. So and I give the people value for their money. My portions are big. As you say, one naan is so big.
Hmm.
The kebabs are bigger in sizes and more quality, more quantity. That's what is important. You give
Definitely, yeah.
value for your food.
That quality over quantity approach is crucial so people keep coming back. You also offer on weekdays a lunch buffet for $30, with most of your menu prices ranging from about $20 to $30. How do you afford and finance the $30 lunch buffet on the
So
weekdays?
the menu prices are from 25 to 45.50.
Okay.
In lunch buffet, you are exposing yourself to the office crowd. People don't have time. They come, grab a plate, and start eating. And it's
Yeah.
an exposure to come back in the evening with their families. So that is basically you don't make much money out of it, but this is like an expose. You expose yourself to more and more people.
And how would you say operating the buffet is different than operating a sit down a la carte restaurant? What's the differences in your behind the scenes operation?
Buffet is pretty simple because the chefs have to come in the morning, they have to prepare the fresh food and put it in the cheffers. But fine dining is when the customer walks in, you have to obviously you have to greet them anyway. You have to seat them, give them the menus, ask them for the water, still water, bottled water, and then you proceed with the drinks, cocktail or anything, or any wines, or any single malt, or anything they want. Then you have to take the order for appetizers, then the main courses, then dessert. See, it's a process. After your appetizers, you have to remove the plates, give fresh plates for dinner. Then after your dinner is over, you have to give fresh plates for dessert. Again, you have to clear the dessert plates. So this is entirely a much lengthier process.
Yeah, and now I want to talk about the food itself. What is your, if somebody's going to Bukhara Grill for the first time, what item would you recommend they get to try and get a good experience of this North Indian cuisine?
Okay, I'll say the most important thing, that the most famous dish of Bukhara is
Mhm.
Bukhara.
Is
Dal
what?
Bukhara is a
Dal
harmonious
Bukhara.
combination of lentils. It takes 24 hours to cook. It's a black dal, dal
Mhm.
makhani. We have named it as Dal Bukhara. Then we have one of the finest kebabs like Malai kebab. Its boneless chicken breast is marinated and grilled in the clay ovens. We have the finest and the biggest lamb chops you can think of. Then we have lamb seekh kebabs or chicken seekh kebabs. So there's a whole variety of different kebabs, and not to miss tandoori chicken. Tandoori chicken is marinated and cooked in the clay ovens. I think we have one of those few restaurants in the city or in the country who serve a leg of lamb. It is a whole leg of lamb is marinated and grilled in the clay ovens. Then in curries we have got chicken makhni, we have got chicken methi, we have got the special baby goat curry. Then we have
Mhm.
got lamb rogan josh, different vegetables, bhindi bukhara, which is like a fried bhindi,
Mhm.
which is very famous. Koftas. So we've got a whole range of different items, vegetables, everything.
Yeah, and how would you say that the aforementioned dal bukhara is different from a regular dal makhani?
As mentioned to you earlier, it
Mhm.
is a special recipe which is very few people know, and
Okay.
it takes 24 hours to cook. It simmers for almost 18 hours, and then we have to put all the special ingredients to it, and this is how dal bukhara is made.
And beyond the food, or including the food, what, in your opinion, makes just the perfect Indian restaurant and the perfect Indian meal?
Well, you have to give a perfect Indian experience. You should be welcoming to the customer, give a smile, seat them, and talk to them, and take their input. If they want any recommendations, recommend them the right thing. Never do negative selling. People ask me, two people, should we have two naan? I said, no, just take only one naan. If you need more, you can always order more. So small things are important in service. And to make a full Indian experiences, you have to tell them about India, about the different cuisines, different kind of uh, meats or vegetables we use, different kind of seasoning, different kind of spice level, mild, medium hot, or nuclear hot. So that's all we have to explain it to the customer.
Yeah, and now I do want to transition one more time, talk about the future of your brand, the future of your company. So, like we have discussed, you already have catering and dining operations for Bukhara Grill that are in Midtown Manhattan and expanding to New Jersey. Do you have plans to franchise Bukhara Grill or expand outside of the Northeast United States anytime soon?
Well, not as of now, but I'm thinking of opening more restaurants in the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you want to keep it like heavily on yourself, or are you willing to franchise and allow other people to take control of Bukhara? Or you want it to all be, homegrown from your own kitchen?
Yeah, we can think of that if somebody is serious. who knows what he is doing. And for this, we have to give a license to operate. And that too, we have to go there and set up the whole operation. Give Bukhara trained chefs. Because when you say Bukhara, people think of the same dal Bukhara, the same food, the same naan. So you just can't open a restaurant Bukhara and just open it like that. Because people have know what is Bukhara. So you have to match the quality of Bukhara. Then only you can open more and more restaurants. We have to train them here, and then only we can say, okay, they are ready. Then only you can go and open up.
Definitely. Yes, I enjoyed learning so much from you today. Is there anything you kind of want to add before we wrap up this episode about your business or your career?
Well, I'll say the most important things to be in a restaurant business, you should have a passion for it.
Okay.
If you have the passion, then only you should move forward into this line. Because this is not an easy business. It's difficult. But if you have the passion, everything becomes simple. Work hard, be honest, and sell the right product. That's what is important. Because I never sell inferior product.
Of course.
Main success to business is be nice and to your customers. We were being taught, guest is God. If guest says this is not right, change it.
Of course.
Because he is paying our bills.
Yeah, that relationship is so
Yeah,
important.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So the last thing, what is your favorite item? I asked you about what you would recommend, but now I'm asking your personal favorite item. If you're going to your restaurant for lunch or dinner, what are you picking up?
Well, it all grows with age. Like I like a lot of vegetables. I
Okay.
do it. I do it chicken and other things also, but I love fresh vegetables, dal, like bhindi, chicken. So a mix of different things.
Yeah, and have you tried every single item on your menu?
Well, I know the taste of every menu. I can see and tell what is missing here. See, I have eaten every item on the menu.
You
That's
have.
what
And
important. You should know that it's right or wrong. From time to time, I eat different things.
yeah.
Just to see that the quality of food is right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time, and the audience learned so much. Again, guys, please be sure to check out the new Bukhara location in Midtown Manhattan, right by Grand Central Terminal on Park Avenue. It's a great restaurant, great Indian food, authentic, and thank you so much to Raja Jhanjee for joining me today.